Yo, everyone knows I love Kaido. I've been playing Kaido for a long time. I tried it in set 2 when Whitebeard was a thing. It was not good, not at all, because Moby Dick just ran you over. I've been trying it pretty much all the time. I played in the Small Hat Chris's tournament and played a leader lock Kaido, and I did win that one tournament that I played in. Actually, I played in 2. I got second or third, I think. I think I got second in the second tournament and first in the first tournament. So I've been a Kaido stan. I've been a Kaido believer. And this is the deck list I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to explain my decisions. And then I'm also going to explain why I'm not playing certain things. But also, I'm going to show you guys some matches. I'm going to commentate them. So let me go ahead and transition. All right. So we got 4 Bon Clay. It's just a standard good ramp card in the beginning of the game. We don't like playing cards like Queen early on because if we play Queen, then we don't get to our 9s and 10s as early as we want to, and sometimes it can really throw you off curve. We're playing 4 of the 10 cost Kaido. We're not playing any of the 10 cost Big Moms though. I don't know. There's like a disconnect with the card. It feels like nothing. Like you can't make good use of your 10 Dawn before you Dawn -10 to use it. So like it's an interesting card because you can threaten, using it. But I feel like even if you, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that good. It's something about it just doesn't seem very good. So we're playing 4 of the 10 cost Kaido. We're playing, I think, a total of 10 2Ks. We're playing 2 X Drake, playing 4 Sanji. We're playing 4 Black Maria. So yeah, total of 10 2Ks along with 3 of the 0 cost events. So technically 10 2Ks and 3Ks, which is pretty good. So 13. Playing 2 Reiju because this card's really good after the turn after you Kaido. So for example, if you Kaido, and then Dawn -6, and then obviously you ramp back up, you wipe the whole board. Usually at that point, you have very little cards in hand. You have like anywhere from 4 to 6, and then Reiju, you play it down, go down to 5 cards in hand, you draw 2 cards, and then establish a body and draw 2 cards. It's really powerful. I really like it. But playing it as like a 4 of, it's not necessary because when you play it as a 4 of, it just kind of clogs and you only use it in certain situations, and it's like only after, realistically, like it's pretty much at the end of the game. Like you play like Queen and then Reiju are like kind of like your cards to kind of get you to the end of the game and let your big guys kind of take over. So you could play it at 3 if you want to. I personally like it at 2. Playing 3 of the Brule because this card is really good if you don't find your Bon Clay, and you pretty much always get, because there's pretty much no meta bottom decking, you pretty much always get its effect. So if you do need to ramp 1 extra time, if you go Oni on your turn 1 or on your turn 2 into Bon Clay on your turn, on your next turn, then the next turn you go, I think, to 10 Dawn automatically with the 2 Onis and then the ramp with Brule or Bon Clay. So you can drop like Kaido if you want to, you can drop this Big Mom if you want to, you can go Big Mom into Kaido if you want to. There's a lot of things you can do. For the linlin, this card's really good. I think this card's really, really, really strong. Just being able to heal and put something like a Kuzan at the bottom of your opponent's life without actually having to like heavily commit Dawn, I think is really powerful. And you can get this to like, you can get this basically on like turn 3, or maybe turn 4. I'm not entirely sure, but you can get this really early. And it's just a nice body to have on the board. And healing is really good with this because how you beat Kaido before was like rushing it down. And then 3 of the Rush Kaido, because the Rush Kaido is important because this deck kind of lacks power right after you drop like the linlin. So if you can go linlin and they don't get rid of it, and then you just go Kaido and wipe a 6 cost off the board, and then just go 9-10 into life, I think that's really powerful. And then you can follow that up with like your recouping card advantage, basically like Queen and then Reiju. So basically what happens is like the strategy of this deck is you go linlin into Kaido into like either Law or Queen or Reiju, or like Bon Clay, or even this is probably like the worst play, but like you basically go like 2 big bodies and then you try to stabilize with card advantage, and then you try to end the game with your big bodies, and then if they start gaining advantage through that, that's when you drop 10 cost Kaido. And then we play 4 Queen, obviously, just for like the card advantage. We play 3 of the Laws because Black Yellow Luffy's a really good deck. Bonnie's a good deck still, and then Lucci can be kind of problematic, and you can hopefully rip some Geckos or something out, or some Jacks with the Law. 2 Sheep's Horn just because it's blocker meta right now. Lucci plays a bunch of blockers. Black Yellow Luffy plays a bunch of blockers. Basically, if Black Yellow Luffy goes to 9k and they only play 1 blocker, you Dawn -1. Pay 2, you rest their Sabo, and then if you have a Kaido or just any of your big guys, you go like 16 to 18 into life, and you usually are able to kill them. So this is kind of like low-key a Diable Jumbo in a sense. Like I said, we're playing the 3 Gum Gum Jet Gatlings. We're playing 4 of the Searchers for our 2Ks, our big guys, and our stage, and then we're playing 4 Oni, of course. But yeah, let's get to the matches now. All right, so I played this game like a little while ago, so I don't exactly remember my thought process behind all the decisions I made, but we're gonna figure it out together. Any hand that you have Onigashima in, you normally keep because Kaido with Oni is better than Kaido with like a perfect hand without Oni. Even if your hand is completely ass, because in 2 or 3 turns you can just start dropping big bodies after big bodies, and hopefully that's enough. Now, that's not always the case, but I don't like to risk having a Oni in hand and then mulliganing and then not having Oni. So could be wrong, but I don't think it is. Gonna go play Oni. Go ahead and search. Gonna go ahead and get a Big Daddy Kaido because I don't want him to just drop linlin after linlin after linlin because he can ramp just as fast as I can. So if he drops a bunch of linlins, then I can wipe them and hopefully still be able to, have a decent amount of life afterwards. Because if I have a decent amount of life afterwards, then I can stabilize after his barrage of linlins are done with. But I am going to search one more time to find the linlin, the 9-cost linlin. There's going to be a lot of tongue twisters here. And I'm going to swing 8 into life. No. Yeah, I'm going to swing 8 into life here. And he's going to go ahead and trigger the One Piece thing. And I'm going to play Black Maria because he is going into his 9 Dawn turn. And honestly, one of the reasons I played it is because I thought I could use my Black Maria's effect and then also go back to 10 Dawn or go to like 9 Dawn the next turn. But I was doing the math and I was like, wait, I actually can't do that. I'll only be at like 7 Dawn the next turn, so I can't exactly do that. But also because if he's on his 9 Dawn turn plays the 9-cost linlin, then what could happen is he can put the Black Maria back at the bottom of my life, and he basically gives me a life on top of it. And then with the 9-cost linlin that I play, I'll be at 6 life basically the next turn, or close to 6 life. But that was my thought process behind it. And if he doesn't play the 9-cost linlin, then the Black Maria is just gonna trash his life pretty much over and over and over again. Now he goes weird numbers here. He goes 5 and then 8. Obviously this guy doesn't know math that well because he should have gone 6 and 7. But this was late at night, I'm pretty sure, or I don't know when this was, but no one was available to play. No one that I wanted to play with was available to play at the time, and I was like, I just want to get this. I want to get some gameplay of Kaido so I can move on to some other things. By the way, guys, I'm going to have a video every single day for the next like 50 days. I'm going to try some VV theory route because while I am being bipolar, and while I can't change being bipolar, when I'm in my phases of like high energy, I need to take advantage of it. So I'm going to crank out a bunch of videos. That way everything will be good for when I'm not feeling the best. So I'm going to go ahead and play Kaido here. I considered playing the 10-cost Kaido because his board was getting kind of tall. But I figured, if I play 10-cost Kaido and wipe his queen, and then I can take a bunch of cards out of his hand by going 11 into the Big Mom and then 9 to the Big Mom, I could take 3 cards out of his hand minimum and still do a life with the Kaido swing. So I feel like that was actually a pretty good play on my part. I had enough counter because I knew he was going to play the 10-cost Big Mom this turn. So I had enough counter to protect both of my guys if he decided to play the 10-cost Big Mom. And then I'm at a healthy life count, so the 10-cost doesn't matter as much as long as I can stall. And if it gets really out of hand, then I could just do... if it gets really out of hand, then I can just heal with the 9-cost, I'm pretty sure, the next turn. I don't remember for sure, though. But yeah, he goes into 10-cost Big Mom right there. I'm still at 2 life. I'm only at 8 Dawn, so I can't do that. But I'm going to go 11 into the linlin right there. And I think he counters out of this one too, which actually scared me a little bit. But I decided I'm going to go... I wanted to play... Yeah, I swung 5 into the Abyssal Sunday, and then he countered, which is really unfortunate. I wish he did counter this. I really wanted to clear his board, but I go 11 into the linlin. I shouldn't have committed that Dawn early, but I thought about the what's it called too late. I should have just swung 5 into the Missile Sunday before I committed any Dawn, and then obviously if he would have countered, I could have just saved Dawn and baited like a Thunder Bogwa or something like that. But I decided to go Queen right there, and then if he played another linlin right there, I would have swung with all my guys and then just dropped the board wipe Kaido. That's what I decided to do right there. He's going to go 9 into... I believe he's going to go 9 into the linlin. Even if he goes 9 into life here, it doesn't matter as much because I can just heal on the following turn. but I don't have any counter here, so this is actually really unfortunate for me. So he's gonna go 9 into linlin, and I have to let it go. I have to legit let it go. It really sucks, but I'm at 9 Dawn now, or 10 Dawn, so I'm gonna go ahead and search, and I think I get a 2k counter here because I really just value like the safety. And instead of healing with the linlin, I go just 12 into the Big Mom to get it off the board, and then 5 into the what is it called? Miss All Sunday. I go ahead and trash the Kaido because I don't think I'm going to need the Kaido anymore. And then I just swing 5 into the Miss All Sunday. And I leave 2 Dawn open because I don't need to commit the Dawn to kill the Miss All Sunday. And then I want to bait the Bagua because, you know, Kaido is notorious for playing like events occasionally. So they could play like, you know, Thunder Bagua. They could play Blast Breath. They could play a few other things. There's like plenty of counters that Kaido is prone to playing, and I think it's a really good idea whenever you don't need to commit Dawn to kill something to just save Dawn up just to like bait it, especially in a situation like that. Now this guy goes 10 into the Kaido. I think that was a mistake. He should have just gone 10 into my life and then like 11 into my life. I think that's what he's going to end up doing, a 12 into my life, but he's going to go ahead and bait out the queen. Which is fine, but I don't think that's the right call. I think you want to pressure me down right here. And this is a really bad situation for him because I have 3 9-cost linlins in hand. So I can just heal pretty much indefinitely. And I'm going to trash the Sheep's Horn because this deck doesn't really play a whole lot of blockers. So I don't really need the Sheep's Horn in this situation. I just need to keep healing. And I need as much counter as possible. So if he does go into my life, I just need to keep countering. So I'm going to go ahead and counter with that. I knew he was going to drop the linlin, obviously. And then for me, I think I'm just going to go 6, 9, and 10 into life and do a bunch of damage to him right there and then play another linlin. Because at this point, I know I can't die to another linlin, and I want to pressure him down heavily. So I go 9 and 10 into life. He goes and takes it. I go ahead and drop another linlin. I go ahead and trash. At this point, I think I trash the 0-cost event because I think possibly next turn I'm going to play the other linlin. Depending on how the turn goes. I wanted to keep my options flexible. I go ahead and counter this though, because if I take this and he drops another linlin, then I automatically lose. And that's exactly what happened. Because if I take that, it was just a 1k counter, and he would have swung 12 into life, and all I had was 3 2ks, so I would have lost. So then he goes ahead and swings 12 into something. Oh yeah, my linlin, and then it dies, and I just let it die, and I'm like, whatever. And I'm trying to do the math here. I'm like, I'm going to pretty much just die next turn regardless. So unfortunately, I have to like kind of go for it here. This isn't exactly like the condition you really want to be in, but this is a little bit of a hard matchup if you don't get Black Maria and Oni kind of like quickly. So he takes the 10 right there, and I'm like, okay, if he takes this 11, then I think I automatically win because I trash his last life and then go 13 into life, and that's exactly what happens. He takes it. He basically has like no counter in hand, but he only had 5 cards to begin with, so it's, you know, with a deck that plays a lot of bricks, it's kind of hard to counter out of a 10 with 5 cards and an 11 with 6 cards. So that's the game right there. And then I'm not going to go over the Black Yellow Luffy game because the guy kind of bricked hard, but you guys can see the potential. Yeah, and there's the win right there. All in all, Kaido has a lot of really strong interactions. Like, he has a lot of heal. He has the ability to board wipe. He has the ability to gain advantage now through Reiju, through Queen, through ripping cards out of your hand with the blocker Law. There's a lot of things it can do really well, but overall, you're still reliant on Onigashima, unfortunately, even though you have plenty of ramp options now between Bon Clay and Brule and like all these other like ramp events, but Miss All Sunday as well. But the deck struggles with not having a lot of counter. It also struggles really hard with like playing impactful characters without heavily reducing Dawn. In fact, I would say if we had like one more thing of like Linlin, for example, the 9-cost, the one that heals, if we had one more option kind of like that doesn't commit heavy Dawn, I feel like it'd be really good. Funny enough, I called this card absolutely ass, but I think the new Rush Luffy, the one that's like Dawn minus I think 1 or 2, and then it gains Rush, it's like a 9/10. Funny enough, I think that would be a good addition to the deck because it's just giving you another option to like have a good power play without going too hard. So for example, you can go Linlin into the Luffy into the 9-cost Kaido and basically go heal, rush, and I think that would be really strong, as well as like the trash life mechanic with the Black Maria. But I'm worried the Luffy just doesn't do as much as you might think. Overall, I think the deck is really good, and it's probably in like the top top like 7 or 8 best decks in this meta right now. And I'm gonna have some Patreon videos coming out on it soon. I'm far behind on my Patreon, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a struggle because I haven't really had a whole lot of great players to play against, because one, I've been busy, and then they've been busy with like life and nationals, and then I also, long story. But yeah, I'm gonna get back on that. Like I said, I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff coming out, like legit like 40 or 50 days in a row, getting it all prepared right now. So see you guys.